Well, it's Memorial Day 2026, and we made our way out to the gorge. Today we're going to hike up to the top of Indian Staircase and around the loop there. Only we're not going to go straight up the staircase. We're going to do the bypass trail. So I'm going to try to remember to get some good video of it this time. I did it once back in the fall and just totally forgot to take any video actually going up the climb. So we got out here nice and early, given it's a holiday, and it is empty around here. I was surprised. It's rained pretty much all weekend up until now. Today's supposed to be clear, just chance of rain, so hopefully we'll be okay. Ground's still a little wet, so hopefully it dries out a little bit by the time we get up there, but it's only a couple scrambles, so we should be just fine. But we're gonna go ahead and get on the trail. I think this might actually be the first time I've ever actually seen deer in the gorge. Of all the times I've been here, there's usually just too many people. And there they are. They were down here closer to the trail. They kind of went up the hill a little bit, and then now they're just standing there staring at us. As we started making our way, I could hear the water. I was a little worried about this crossing, but it doesn't look too bad. It probably drains pretty quickly here, and it won't be bad at all to get across there. Hey, we're making our way up now, southbound. Henry's our navigator for the day. He's got to learn how to use a GPS app on the phone for his scouts. So he's leading us on the way, so hopefully he's going the right way. So for the bypass, as you're coming around trail here, we're still on the Sheltowee. You come around to this little creek crossing. This is the first creek after you turn onto the Sheltowee. So it's a little hard to see. And if you look at your map, it's not up this way. It's actually turned back around. And the trail bypass actually goes up the hill here. This tree is newly down. The leaves are still bright green. So this fell very recently. Definitely was not down in the fall, but this is way more recent than even that. So looks like we got a little bit of bushwhacking, climb over some deadfall here right at the beginning, and then we start our climb up the hill. Yeah, made it around the tree. It's kind of a bear. But you can see here we got like 3 or 4 stumps on this big one here. Look out all the others or what, but those leaves are bright green, so it's very recent. It has been sawn down on the trail. So it didn't just happen just last night. It's been at least since yesterday. But anyway, so we're back on the trail. Down there in the distance, you can actually see the Sheltowee still. That right there is where the creek goes across. So that's where we are. And now we got a pretty well-defined trail, and we're going to make our way straight up the hill. Well, another blowdown, maybe related to the other one. We're just 50 feet up the trail. This one, pretty dense, so we're probably going to have to go under it. Looks to be the easiest. A whole lot easier with day packs on than we have full backpacks. So this is what we're doing right now. We're straight up the hillside. As you can probably hear, for an out of shape guy like me, it's a pretty good workout. Well, we should be hitting the first scramble here soon. Well, we made it to the first scramble. This one is one of the harder ones, if I remember correctly. So there he is. Henry's about a little over 5 foot tall now, just for reference. And this seems to be the way that I found best. Let's just use the root as a ladder and just get right up it. Throw your poles up ahead of you. Throw your pack ahead if you need to. Henry obviously wasn't paying attention. Just leave him, I'll throw him. I'll throw him up to you. Just go. Don't waste all your energy. Or fall down the rock. And then once you get up out of that, it's just a little trail for a little while longer. There's still at least one more scramble. Now that I've caught my breath a little bit coming up the hill, it's my turn to go up. Yep, and we'll just continue on up. The rocks here, and up ahead there you can actually even see the next big scramble.
This one, if there was a...
So we went up at a little one here. Just wait until I get up there, Henry. Then we gotta go up that one. There's another little side trail here. I might go over. Might be a little bit easier than going straight up this one. But we'll see. Okay, so I came up that way, went to the left, which wasn't bad, but I guess you still have to come up that first step. Then you follow that over out to the right. It becomes real easy right here. But we're going to do the same thing here. Kind of use the roots as a ladder and make our way up. And we made it up. Not the most graceful, but using those roots in the tree, it's not too bad. If I remember correctly, the hard stuff's all done. Right up there is pretty much the top. This might be the one where if you go around to the right that I was thinking of. Here, right up here, Henry. Yeah, so we're at the next ledge. He's going up this way. We kind of went to the right a little bit. But if you come further to the right as he slides down the rock, you can see right here, nice easy path right up. Are you gonna make it? Or are you gonna chicken out and go back the other way, the easy way? Yeah, I'll go the easy way. Right up through here. So if you just keep making your way around to the right, a nice little walking path right on up. And we got some nice blooms here on the mountain laurel or rhododendron. I can never remember which one's which one has the little leaves. But whichever one is in bloom late May, that's what we got here. And Henry still continues to insist on taking the hard way, so he's over there. I'll just walk up this little path right there and meet him up there. And once up here, rewarded with a great overlook. Beautiful foggy morning this morning. I got out of the car and said it felt more like the Smokies in the gorge. Just 110% humidity. All the smoke rolling off the hills, mountains. And that right there is our first look at the actual Indian staircase. So we get like a little mini taste of it here just in the last section. Kind of scrambling up these sloped rocks here. But we're just about at the top of the bypass here. This is probably a good place to summarize too. The bypass is way less exposed. You only got those, kind of two main scrambles that are kind of challenging, but way less exposed. Even if you were to fall down those, it would hurt, but there's plenty of trees and stuff to stop you. Versus, as you can kind of see, the top section of the staircase over there. If you take a fall on that, you're going all the way to the bottom. It would not be good. But it's just straight up rocks like that. You don't have the big scrambles or up the hill. So I think it's probably less physically challenging and a lot more mentally challenging as opposed to here on the bypass. Last time I came up it, I was by myself with a full pack. I wasn't sure my nerves were going to hold out, so I figured this was probably the safer route today. Got Henry with me, so I figure this would be a good safe one too. And I messed up and didn't take video coming up the bypass here last time, so I wanted to get back out. Also, it's like I said, it's all wet, so I don't know. The rocks themselves are pretty good, so the actual staircase probably would have been okay. But we're just about here to the top. Kind of caught my breath here. We'll continue on around. We got just a little bit shorter way up to the top of the ridge here, and then we got to walk all the way around the ridge to meet up with over there to the main trail at the top of the staircase. And as we get around closer to the top of the staircase, we get our first glimpse. Rock shelters. Big, huge one down here. But we're going to continue on over here to the right and on around just a little bit further to the staircase. And made it to the campsite here at the top of the staircase, the big campsite. So far, I don't see any tents at all. There were only 2 other cars in the parking lot when we parked, and I didn't pay attention if either of them had parking passes. So there may not have even been anybody out here last night. Well, we're going to make our way off to the left here and make our way down to the top of the staircase. And here's the top of the actual top of the staircase. I don't really feel like going down too low, but you can see where it kind of levels off here, and then it's gone. We'll get a much better view when we are right over there on that side of the ridge here in this horseshoe bend. So, but first, we're going to head this way. And here is Turtle Head Rock. I'm going to be very careful walking down here for obvious reasons. We're going to keep making our way on around. And before we even make it around to the actual Turtle Head, we now get Frog Knob. Again, for very obvious reasons. You can actually see where all the ropes left scars and stuff in it from people rappelling off of it. I do wonder, I don't know if the eye and the mouth are natural. I'm assuming not. But still really cool. We are not going to go down there near that. Made it to council chambers. Huge rock shelter. You can see it just keeps wrapping on all the way around. Now you gotta say Ohm. It's the Ohm Dome. Ohm.
The thing.
Did it? Ohm.
Whatever.
See how it echoes?
Yep.
Yeah, so like I said, this is the council chambers. I don't know if the waterfall has a name or not. It's usually trickling, but we just had a ton of rain this weekend, so it's running pretty good right now. And then that's the way we came in, and then up there, off to the left, is the Ohm Dome. And we are going to continue our trail on around, underneath, and out of the rock shelter. Make our way towards the goat path. And now we enter the goat path. Here's the trail. There's the cliff. So it hugs. There's trees along on the left side for the most part, for most of it. There's a couple spots where it gets a little sketchy. As long as you're careful, it's not too bad. And we made it to the end of the goat path. I'm going to take my phone out, but it's a little sketchy to do that. So, but here we get a great overview of the rim where we were. Over there's the staircase. Still nobody on it. So, comes up down here and you go right up that face into it. So right over there is Frog Knob, and that's Turtle Head Rock, just from a different angle. It doesn't look much like a turtle. Where we came up, the bypass is actually that ridge all the way out there. So we came up that one and then followed along and came out here at the top. We're at the end of the horseshoe here, and we are going to keep moving on around this way and see a couple arches. We made it off the unofficial trail, and we made it out to the Sheltowee Trace again.
See, I told you.
We're going to take a left here for just a short ways, and then we'll take another left to stay on the trail and go down and check out Adena Arch first. Then we'll come back up, make our way out to Adena Arch. So we're walking up the trail here. See blaze up there, blaze over there, maybe some sap or something. But what it's trying to say is, don't go that way. If you look up here at this tree, you can actually see there's the blaze and the arrow. Because the Sheltowee continues on up here to the left. We got some more blazes and stay on trail and stuff. Back to the right is where we'll be coming right back up to, and that goes out to Adena Arch. That's another unofficial trail. And here's Adena Arch. This is a really cool one. It's not real tall up here that you can see, but if I sneak up here very carefully, you can see it goes way down. The only thing touching it over here on the right is just dirt, not rock. So eventually it will probably erode away and go all the way down there. The trail actually goes down there. We'll go down the stairs here in a second to go take a look at the bottom. So here's the base of Adena Arch, and it stretches all the way up there. My wide angle lens makes it look a lot shorter, but it goes way up there to where we were standing before. And it is not connected there. On the other side, it's just in dirt, so eventually it'll erode most of this dirt away and expose even more of the arch. So it's kind of a cool, unique one. But we're going to head back up the stairs and continue on out the other way. Okay, made it back out to the, well, still on the Sheltowee, but the junction here. So we're going off to the left, out towards Adena Arch. Like I said, this is an unofficial trail again. So, the arch in here, kind of neat, because once you come in, for one thing, you got a huge cliff off to one side. But inside here, you got this cool little formation. The rock with the different colors of rock even. That's pretty cool once you're up inside of here. Well, we're up on top of Adena Arch now, and I think I finally see the first people going up the staircase over there. I don't know if my phone zooms in far enough here. And that's the top of the staircase there. And then, well, the bypass trail that's over here behind this tree, over this way a little bit. Oh yeah, now there's definitely, you can see some people making their way up the staircase. We also passed the first person here at Adena Arch. That's the first person we saw all day. There we go, here's a better view. So we're just past the Adena Arch. So right up there is Indian staircase. So on around that way, that's the way we walked. Over here to the right, right up there, that ridge right there is the bypass that we came up. Focus again. Right up there. And then walking around that ridge to the top of the staircase. And we're back to the Sheltowee from Adena Arch. We decided we're just going to go ahead and play it safe and take the Sheltowee on back around and back to the trailhead. So we're supposed to be going to the right. Henry's not following his map very well because he's going the wrong way. I'll cut the corner. So we're heading right back past the Adena Arch. We're about halfway back on the Sheltowee now, but we are directly below kind of the main features on the trail. Like right up there is that big flat spot. I don't see Frog Knob, but I think it's just right up there somewhere. And then over here to the left is the Turtle Head Rock. You can kind of see some holes in the rock there too, in the cliff. So we're making our way back. Like I said, about halfway back. And made it to the back to the cutoff. Well, not actually, we haven't been here yet, but there's the cutoff that goes up to the base of the actual staircase itself. Just passed a couple people heading up that way, but we're going to keep on going on out this way. And before long, we'll get back to where we cut off to complete our weirdly shaped lollipop today and get back onto the little bit of Sheltoe and then back on Bison Way, back to the car. Our dear friend has found us again. And we made it back to the car. So we ended up doing 5.5 miles in pretty much 4 hours on the dot. So pretty good. About 1 o'clock. Parking lot is full, but nobody's illegally parking yet, so that's a good sign. I'm sure they're coming though. But it's a good hike. Good to get out again, and I wanted to film that one to get a video up because I could not find like any good videos anywhere on YouTube of what the bypass actually looks like. So that's why I wanted to get back out there and get that recorded. So now we're off to maybe get some pizza or something. We'll see.